This was a bit unexpected. I was waiting for Miha for starting talking today. And what is my topic today and what I would like to conduct today? First of all, we are not on design conference, obviously, and I'm really pleased to be here and speak to such a sophisticated crowd. Out of our survey, I know that majority of us are somehow interacting with marketing teams or part of the marketing teams. And therefore, expectedly, we also interacting with all sorts of design techniques and use design as a tool to build customer experiences. I had to wait a bit. Let me use maybe my, all good, thanks, Arlene. So my name is Roman. I do design more than 20 years already. And I read somewhere that designers right now have to be generalists and AI enthusiasts. And this is actually what I'm trying to be these days, because I think it's crucial to see the full pictures on how AI applies and influences the customer experience these days, and not be only within a design discipline. Currently, I lead a team of 10 full-time designers and many more freelancers that we cooperate with. Yeah, as Christian said, I came from Ukraine and now live in Winterthur since 3 years already. And when we can wrap up about what our team can make and what we are doing on a daily basis, we create digital experience design and visual communications for the clients globally, but primarily in Switzerland. And as Christian said, we can do websites, we can do activation campaigns, we can launch products, and we use all sorts of design methods to achieve that. And some promises about this talk, just to maybe bind the customer experience and design topic. What I will try to how I would try to inspire and explain on this speech is how AI adoption happens in the digital experience design, which obviously a part of the general customer experience, what implications, constraints, and opportunities we have these days, and some practical examples where AI rocks and where it's limps. Generally, the situation with AI in design is very good. We see that high numbers of familiarity with AI tools, and out of different research studies, we see that CX practitioners expecting short-term impact from generative AI and AI in general on the lot of design processes. And another trustful source, like my personal observation, I see that majority of designers in different fields, user experience designers, visual UI designers, we see that AI will help and augment a lot, but also will compete and even take some jobs in the mid-time horizon. And I would like maybe to start with some story to inspire you and to see how the state of the things these days with design. This is a conversation I've heard recently about the agency and the client. Imagine the client approach to agency and ask, like, "Hi guys, I've heard you were recommended. You heard you're a really AI-driven digital agency and you can do a lot of things." And obviously, they get a good response and agency wants to demonstrate their capabilities. And then we come to the point that we need to estimate some project, and we get like quite a normal estimation. And the question that isn't something should be faster, cheaper, more accessible with AI these days if it's so well adopted by design teams and agencies, because we expect access in performance. We expect much significant boost in bandwidth output, and by some reason it doesn't happen. And the real truth is that truly human-centric design interaction right now remains largely AI-free. This is the recent study from the respectful Nielsen Norman Group organization and Anthropic, which states that only 7% of all conversation were related to user experience and design, which still makes it's a top 5 occupation, but it's a relatively low number. And we, with our team, we take it seriously to understand where we can apply AI in digital experience design. We started, the first time we used AI tools were like, even before the ChatGPT, and since then we constantly thinking about how to apply various techniques, platforms and tools to make our processes more efficient and more automated, and therefore bring more value to our clients. We can overview the state of AI in design process from 3 perspectives. Obviously, the first and the most obvious way is to discuss what particular tool can do for your experience design process and how it can improve workflows. At a larger scale, we can think about various scenarios and how we can utilize those tools or chain of tools in order to make them more efficient and bring more value. But I think the most important thing is to strategically approach to including AI tools and processes in holistic experience, and the main question here is to understand where and in which parts of our design process and experience design process AI can augment us and make things more efficient. I think the most important question right now is, let me jump to the next slide. The most important question right now is how, where, and why we need to use AI in experience design as a part of customer experience, and this is how we approach to this topic in Capptoo. Here we see like a standard generic process for like it can be applied for many industries, but in order to simplify the presentation and to narrow down the huge topic, obviously the AI design, we want to have just 5 steps like research, define, develop, deliver, and validate. And on each different step, we will have different scenarios. And those scenarios will define where, why, and how we can use various AI tools in our process. And of course, by practical usage of different tools, we can also see in which stage in which part of the delivery process particular AI solutions works, and sometimes they don't. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into the next slide. And I would like you to guide really quick through all 5 steps and overview huge benefit that AI can bring into single step, and also see the state of AI right now and the complications and limitations of design, AI-driven design workflows in customer experience and digital experience design. So if we talk about the research part, I think the most hype topic right now is agentic AI, and we practically use agentic AI to autonomously research, find various contexts, and bind this data with our project goals. Of course, structuring information, segmentation, and finding sentiments in your voice of customer data and user interview is something where obviously any language model sparks, and we cannot imagine our life without having those tools these days. And of course, AI is particularly great is setting up the stage for the next steps, creating specifications, writing scenarios, and as it's written before, it's very, very practical to use this, and we do it, and a bit later I'll show you how we can approach to that. And at the research stage, we see that AI not helping us to build, to do a practically good visual research, to find inspiration. And even if we see platforms which allows you find images or objects by some topic, color, or other tagging, it's hard to bind this and connect to your brand and visual identity. AI cannot help you understand emotions, sarcasm, read between the lines. This is also what we are facing every time when we are analyzing our service in Scraver platform. Like, you know, somebody can say like, well, I like this venue, I like this event, but factually it can mean a lot different. So this is practically have to be rechecked, and we need to understand what and where we how we understand those answers in AI-driven systems. And when we do research, AI, it's hard for AI to prioritize what is really matter for the experience. This is a quick demonstration of how we use AI in analyzing user answers in Scraver platform. Basically, of course, having AI as a part of your software becoming really hygienic these days, and almost all the software platforms allow you to generate various AI outcomes. And this is how we do it in Scraver in a very nice and interactive way. On the defined stage where our goal is to shape the experience strategically, we definitely apply AI in concepting and outlining strategy, like just like talking to smart people. We can talk to AI with all the knowledge in the world and get the first outlining of the strategy for experience. Also, some practical things like jobs to be done, brief, competitive summaries, templates. It can be done in minutes. I think all of us are doing this these days. And also narration and tone of voice as a part of the experience strategy can be done right now because of the nature of the language tools, of course. And as in previous step, we see that AI struggles to build big pictures entirely, create a really comprehensive workflows on this stage. So I'll finally jump into the stage where our team applies our skills the most and develop and deliver stages. Here, the state of the things are changing drastically every month, and every month we have some new tools, some new processes, which helps us to build better products, create better design and experiences in digital. And we use AI-driven workflows to visually ideate, create storyboard, to create fast prototypes, copywriting, and do a lot of things with seeking ideas, testing ideas. AI not helping us to solve problems with creativity, because generally, of course, AI is not understand the world around us, the contexts, and creativity mainly remains the human job. And it's hard also for AI to help us to design a real world omni-channel flows, because a lot of touch points have their own constraints and limitations. AI can only suggest some general approach to create omni-channel campaigns or experiences, but not create realistic production-ready solutions. When it comes to interaction design, it's important to create experience that feel right. Sometimes we cannot explain why we like that application or that website or some K-visual, and this is because a human touch is needed to fine-tune those interactions. And right now, we cannot achieve it with AI tools. And handle edge cases and exception is also a bit hard for AI. And this is an example of how there are dozens of examples of how AI actually does not help or even harms the business. And this is a good example of how AI chat for DPD, is a famous delivery company, doesn't do the job. It's because the engineers in this product design team haven't tested the edge cases. Such solutions can be a bit harmful for your business. On delivery stages, we embed AI tools, as I said before, heavily. User interface, visual design, first drafts. This is all can be done with AI these days. Visuals at scales, wipe coding, wipe design. It's when we just we talked with different system and get their output right away. And automation is an exceptional field to try different AI tools. And where AI will not help on this stage is to create something unique, something heart-touching. Most of the output that AI generates in design section are grid-based, synthetic. It's hard to achieve really on-brand visuals with generative AI tools, and we still need to invest a lot of time to make all the design assets be fully aligned with brand guidelines and product marketing vision. And also, design and development with AI is not yet generate production-ready output. And here I want to present you a few cases how we utilize AI tools as a part of the holistic process in experience design. Here, for one client of ours, we have to create a dashboard which will visualize employee experience and competences within the organizations. And back in the days, the typical design process will look as follows. So we create, we have some research interview, then we put our thinking hats on, and then create some wireframe mockups, low, high fidelity, then discuss it with client, and only after that we create a final user interface. And these days, of course, there are so many tools to achieve those milestones in this process faster. And in this case, after we had an ideation workshop with client, we sourced the information to ChatGPT, of course, anonymized data, get some insight with Lovable, which is in nutshell front-end developer, AI front-end developer. We create a clickable dashboard, which then we can discuss with development team and customers, and only after several rounds of discussion, we can move to final user interface design and production-ready coding. This saves a ton of time when it comes to iterations and finding an insight in design process. But of course, we cannot expect that this process will end up with a real production-ready code and design. So it's still at some point AI will not get us there. And another example how we use holistic AI workflows in advertising campaigns. Here we see on the define and develop stages. But as you may see, we have a chain of different tools responsible for specific functions, like creation taglines for the banners, cleaning up the text, stylize it properly. But after all, we still have to manually check the messages with native speaker, because without this human touch, it does produce some very sloppy results. And when we come to the visual design creation, these days we can create visuals at scale by utilizing Gen AI, of course. We can automate those visuals creation, and create dynamic visuals, animate them. But at some point, we need some art direction, and we need manual rechecks for various mistakes, like 6 fingers or other weird outcomes of AI. So it all looks coherent and professional. Another approach how we can utilize AI at scale is to it's also a nice case study of ours. For the World Heart Organization, we're pitching for creation omni-channel multilingual campaign for different countries. And with the help of AI, we can also automate visuals and creative assets development by having that multi-level prompting. When we have some concept described, then we can apply some stylization, and then we can find a specific context for each country and for each market. The idea was to create a visual with human doing sports and the heart in the skies, and you see the AI does the job perfectly when it comes to visual design creation. But of course, as was shown in the previous stage, at some point we have do some manual checks and even do some manual graphic design as well. But this is a good example how we can create thousands of assets only by defining the outcome in AI systems. I will go really quick and validate stage because as research and validate is, of course, design is a broad topic. It's not only designers working on the digital experience design, and our colleagues from marketing teams, they do amazing job by validating the outcomes our team create and iterate and improve our design solutions. But in general, from what we see, AI is really good at feedback analysis, anomaly detections, generating auto insights, and AI is not helping to understand holistic experience gaps. And only after you create those experience, we can, as a human beings, by understanding the contents and how the campaign run or how the website functions, we can understand where we need to improve specific touch points. And of course, you have to decide what to fix first on the validate stage. So the key takeaways of this presentation, I hope that we get a glimpse on how we apply AI these days in digital experience design. And I think if you will interact with marketing and design teams, it's important to expect end-to-end AI-driven workflows. It's not about one specific tool or one specific application. It's about holistic approach to the digital experience design process. And it's also important to utilize this approach with agencies and teams you are working with. With AI, we can create better, faster, and more high volume output. So more iterations, more concepts, more design in the same amount of time that we used to have before. This is actually obvious. And also, I think it's very important to define human versus AI touch points. Whatever the project, we need to understand what will be the responsibilities of automated generative systems and where human beings have to control those outputs. By ensuring that we work in balance between our design team and all sorts of AI tools, we will have a better chance to create meaningful design and meaningful experience in digital and beyond. And what not to expect from the AI in digital experience, instant dramatic cost cuts. Of course, some things we do much faster and much cheaper, but in general, we are not yet there where we can say like, okay, websites these days are cheap or digital assets creation are cheap. They can be cheap, but in a professional production level, we still need to invest a lot of time for experienced people. We cannot expect deep user empathy and cultural aspects automated. This was said, AI just not capable for that. And complex multi-channel experiences out of the box are also something that yet still have to be designed and executed by human beings. That said, we encourage you to use all sorts of AI tools that is available in the market to create your digital experience. And if you don't want to use it, just ask us and we can help you. Yeah, thank you very much.